where do you foresee the next 5 years of crypto? Like what themes are going to be important that we're not really acknowledging now?
Right. Good question. I'm not going to pretend to be a Nostradamus or or predict the future, and especially on 5 year horizon. It's in crypto, and in Web3, it's things moving so fast. 5 year horizon, it's almost like two cycles in 5 years. But I think the general trend that I'm seeing is that things are getting more and more stable and more mass adopted. And which also means more and more like big money coming into the space from people who are funding projects, not just with ETH and BTC, but actually with like USD pegged or backed funds, and which kind of leads to more jobs, more stable jobs, more like full-fledged career opportunities. But in terms of like technologies and maybe like technology trends, I really hope that the privacy themes of privacy comes back. I think one of the things that I've been noticing more and more is that a lot of projects that claim to be decentralized, they are suddenly not available in certain jurisdictions. Suddenly they're not onboarding, like American investors or investors from other parts of the world. And more and more DeFi projects seems to be forced to like adopt KYC, which is very alien to the whole nature of DeFi. It should be permissionless, right? And so I'm seeing that trend happening. So I hope that at some point it will reverse again, and more projects, they kind of start building with privacy and true decentralization in mind, where they either start building the whole project as a fully unknown team, but kind of experienced and seasoned unknown team, because I think there is more and more precedence of what to do and what not to do as an anonymous team. And I think being anonymous is really gives a lot of kind of freedom in terms of execution, and not being kind of called to court, or not being under the risk of being jailed for some securities fraud that you've done unintentionally, or because some country decided retrospectively that now what used to be legal or what used to be not regulated is suddenly regulated and illegal. So I think I hope that's going to be the trend, where more and more teams are more like privacy focused, and building with privacy in mind, and building with a true decentralization in mind, and with less KYC. Not because KYC is fundamentally, I think it's hard to say that, but I think KYC is a bad solution to a problem. It just try to solve the problem of fraud and like bad actors, but I feel KYC creates more problems than it solves. So I think there should be a smarter way of preventing kind of bad situations from happening. What other trends? Yeah, I think that's probably might be exciting to see more kind of AI machine learning built on top of blockchains. I think blockchains provide a fantastic training data set for a lot of machine learning, or maybe even like machine learning algorithms on chain that can be publicly used and utilized. But that's probably an area on its own. Yeah.
I agree. I think AI is going to be a big one that hasn't been tapped into yet. I think there will be a trend in like privacy, and even with decentralized stable coins that we're seeing now, specifically with like US Terra. I remember reading on like US Tether and USDC, like they actually have the ability to like blacklist addresses. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I didn't even know that. So it's total it's total turn off. Like we need something that's really decentralized.
Yeah, I think what you just pointed out, I think that's something that people like very surprised when they hear this. The majority of people do not know this. They think that like, oh, I can transact. It's just centralized, but no, it's a ERC-20 contract that it has specific clause that you can just disable a certain address or blacklist it. And yeah, I think that's also one of the reasons why, for example, all these major hacks, they never transfer money or convert money into like USDC or USDT on any of the decentralized exchanges, because they will be immediately banned, and they will not be able to withdraw. Like the money will be frozen right away. Which I guess is maybe good in case with this like big hacks, but I guess if you're coming from like this crypto decentralization ethics, hacks are almost like the wolves of the forest. They also play an important part of the ecosystem, and making sure that you want to pay for quality engineering, you want to pay for audits. You want to make sure that you're not rushing with your release and doing a proper engineering and product, and you building it for a long time horizon instead of just for the hype.
Yeah, I agree. I hope we also end up getting decentralized like off ramps. I think it's a big one too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what was it, Local Bitcoins was one of the oldest websites, but I think
that's how I got my first Bitcoin. Actually, it's like my first Bitcoin.
Congrats.
Through Local Bitcoins. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember they were also hiring through us as well. I'm not exactly sure how they're doing right now, but I think it's definitely not an easy space considering how much regulation there is worldwide, and increasingly so pretty much everywhere. But I think there should be some decentralized mechanisms that are very hard to block, with like some local reputation systems where you are, you live in a certain country, you can still be anonymous, but you still have a reputation around yourself, how many times you transacted offline, so that you can like maybe trade bigger volumes offline.